this whole idea of AI and ML that has come in and the rise of that, how has that affected, financial services, and then also how it's affected your approach to product development?
Sure, sure. I'm doing research on it that was unthinkable before this, like market research, product research. So in terms of just research, it's great. But more than that, it's even allowing me to, synthesize that research, summarize it, and create a sort of a document of sorts, right? Like where it's able to help me work much faster in putting my ideas down. One area or one example I can give you is uh, anything that is basically diverse. So one of the things that we do is we lease non-leasable, we have to lease, sorry, uh, products to customers, but we can't use non-leasable. So the non-leasable products for that, right?
Yeah.
So we can only lease out something that is a durable good, which is called a leasable product. So it's always been a challenge to figure out, and you can imagine the amount of SKUs out there and the amount of different products out there, right? So how do you make sure that you're not picking and giving out a non-leasable product to a customer, which would be a compliance, right? So what we do is we use machine learning to be able to read the description of a product and then based on that decide if it's leasable or not, right? So this is again something that we use machine learning for. It goes down and does supervised learning where it basically you'd give it a bunch of descriptions and then the AI slowly learns which are these
Yeah.
durable goods, which are not, and then now you give it a new item and now it can actually predict whether it's leasable or not. The other is just underwriting. Before that at Moneyline, this was a Catapult. Before that at Moneyline, what we used was uh, just customers. Because it's the other thing that AI is very good at is probabilistic kind of decision making,
Sure.
and also just being able to predict something in a probabilistic way, right? So what we are able to do is that obviously a customer could behave one way or the other, right? And then depending on the circumstances are changing so there's such varied circumstances the customer is in that they might behave in one case where they go and pay the loan, in other cases they're not able to pay it, etc. So underwriting is very, very uh, interesting because you can take into account very specific circumstances of the customer, both in time and space, and then you can make that decision at a customer level. So doing anything that is very, very nuanced like that, I think that's where the machine learning routines really help a lot.
What are some emerging technologies, trends, do you think that are significantly going to impact financial product development in the next few years?
I think we are all excited about the same things, and well, I guess if you're at least following the fintech space, AI, crypto is I think an interesting one. Crypto and stable coins specifically from a payments perspective might be very, very interesting. I'm excited to see what happens with that. Because, once you work in payments a little bit or adjacent to payments, you realize our payment system still feels very kind of archaic. And then, the fact that it takes the whole settlement time that it takes for any payment it just seems like in today's day and age, it shouldn't be like that, right? I think that is an interesting space and real-time payments, right? Once that happens, there's a cost and an efficiency hit that is affecting everybody, both businesses and consumers. So those are, I think, interesting. I think embedded finance is also an interesting trend, right? Where it's not financial institutions that are giving giving you the financial product. Really, they're sort of embedded in your shopping experience, in your social media experience. I think just heard Chat GPT is now including sort of a checkout experience within that. So
Yeah.
that would be fascinating, right? Like now AI could have. So that's all just extensions of how financial services can be embedded in a completely different environment, and so it meets the customer where they are rather than you having to go specifically to a bank to do anything, right? Or a financial institution to anything. And finally, I work in the consumer lending space, and like I told you, like underwriting and identity is becoming quite interesting. Like it all adds especially because I come from a user experience background. That the basic friction of financial services is just this whole security and
Yeah.
sometimes some compliance and sometimes just fraud fighting measure that's making you do much more work, right? So any kind of advancements there is going to be very interesting. I've heard of, financial sort of APIs like that. These are my, like, I control my data. I give access to whoever I want to give access to, and then you have a much more, from a business perspective, you have much more security and reliability on that information because of really being able to authenticate that user in a way.